down your phone. I have a client who does that. He thinks that setting reminders on his Google app helps him stay focused and afloat and abreast of his time. Starting is easy, but finishing, that's the real struggle. So, how do you bring your start to an end? And how do you turn your plans into achievement and avoid leaving things undone? In today's video, we'll be discussing and tackling a very typical struggle, whether it's a project, a goal, or even a personal habit. Many of us lose steam halfway through. But in today's topic, I'll be sharing practical tips and strategies to help you start what you finish. And this will help you cross the finish line every single time. I'll be sharing 7 keys and strategies to help you finish what you start, as I've seen that's a really big problem affecting the majority in today's world. The very first thing and strategy you need to employ is ruthless prioritization. Ruthless prioritization. Not everything is equally important. And the thing you need to do is to identify your core values and goals and then prioritize tasks that align to them. This helps you say no to commitments that don't contribute to your priorities, and they help you avoid overcommitment and scattered focus. I'll give an example on how to apply this principle. Say, for instance, you're juggling work, school, a side hustle, and you realize you said yes to help a friend with her events. You said yes to a book club and a community project. It gets overwhelming. How do you set priority to this? If, for instance, your priority is career growth and family time, you would prioritize work and family first. And this in turn will help you say no to extra commitment like the book club, the projects, community. It helps you maintain a focus because the book club and the community projects do not align to your focus right now. It will help you stay on track and avoid burnout. The second thing you need to do is to tame the to-do list. Whew, tame the to-do list. You would have to break down large, overwhelming tasks into actionable steps. And how can you do this? By using the tool called a tracker. You can use a to-do list. You can even use your reminder on your phone. I have a client who does that. He thinks that setting reminders on his Google app helps him stay focused and afloat and abreast of his time. You need to tame the to-do list. The thing is, when you don't do that, it makes the tasks very overwhelming and your focus becomes very scattered. But when you break down these steps, one, you set a deadline, two, and you give strategies that helps you stay in line with what you're doing. What it does to you is that it gives you a sense of fulfillment whenever you achieve a small task that leads to the completion of that project. So say, for instance, you have a 10-page work at work to complete. I know it can be overwhelming as to how do I start? It's overwhelming. You probably have a deadline, say a 10-day deadline given to you by your boss. What do you do first? You probably would go online or get a textbook or a book that speaks to the report you want to write about. You do your research, read about it for an hour or so, and then you write an outline of what you would like to write about. Write the outline, which will move you into writing your introduction. You can see it's a step by step process. You're starting from somewhere that leads to another thing, and it is giving you a sense of completion. Before you know it, you're done with that report in 5, 6 days, and you feel proud of yourself. Why? Because you've achieved something that was in line with what you wanted to start. And this is how you can keep on track of what you're doing. The third strategy is time management. In fact, I would say master time management. A lot of people find themselves doing a lot of things that are not aligned to what they would rather do. Why? Because they have not developed strategies that aligns their tasks in such a time frame that is realistic. You need to set deadlines that are realistic to your goals. You need to be able to find out what works best for you. And this will mean sometimes waking up early. And I would advise that because very early in the morning, it's very quiet. Your mind, your body is calm, and it gives you such focus, such that if you have a deadline, for instance, if you're a project manager and you have a project in front of you, it would help you strategize what to do with a time frame given to you, so you know that you're just not winging by or winging things as the case may be. you are managing your time such that you can bring that project in such a compacted time frame and you would see the results. Why? Because you have decided to manage your time and you can see progress even as you go forward. So manage your time. Don't be found doing what you don't want to do. Many a times we don't manage our time. When we don't manage our time well, we are caught doing the things we have not decided to do. And because we've not decided to do those things, we end up giving time. I'll give you a very typical example. Say, for instance, you decided you wanted to read an ebook, and it happens to be on your phone. And guess what? You have your Wi-Fi connected to your phone, and a message from Instagram pops up. What do you do sometimes? You get distracted, knowing full well that initially your plan was to read an ebook, but because you've not come into a place where you're giving yourself a boundary with time, you see Instagram as something that can share a time with your ebook. You need to master your time management. It helps you prioritize your tasks so that when you do that, you achieve what you want to achieve in a time frame, and it gives you a sense of achievement and completion even as you go ahead. The fourth tip is to embrace the growth mindset. Many people would never achieve what they have set their mind to do because they see those tasks as insurmountable mountains. They see them as challenge that is posed in front of them as though they can never get across the tasks they've set out to do. See those tasks as challenges that will help propel you into the next career or even the next step you would wish to get into. Challenges should not be avoided. Embrace them. It helps you own your skill. It helps you become better at what you do. Say, for instance, you or learn how to play guitar and you strike the first chord and it sounds very off to you. You keep doing it and you feel like, oh, you're not getting this thing right. Instead of taking the blame game and feeling like you're not enough, what you need to do is to have the mindset, embrace that's happening as something that is propelling you to learn. And the thing about learning is that you make mistakes, and it's all right to make mistakes. It helps you become better such that you don't make those mistakes anymore. So you're learning how to play the guitar, and the more you learn and you make corrections, the better you get at it. And before you know it, you're a pro. And people are calling you for the gigs, and you can remember the days when you were such an amateur player, and it seemed as though you would never be a master at playing the guitar. But guess what? Because you embraced the growth mindset, you kept at it instead of turning your back. And this is a lot of people find themselves, once they see a challenge, they tend to just pack up and say, you know what, I'm done, I can't do this. No, embrace the growth mindset. Whenever you see a challenge, you see it as something that you can actually overcome, and then you do because you're putting your time into it, you're focused and determined not to let anything deter your rising. The fifth strategy, which a lot of people do not prioritize, is self-care. Don't pour from an empty cup. Never pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally is very important to completing your goals. When you are not well taken care of, it affects your focus, it affects your thinking, it affects your mind and your whole being. But when you do well to take care of yourself, you prioritize self-care. And how do you do that? The first thing you need to do is to sleep regularly, have enough sleep. When you don't sleep as you should, you're distorted. You don't make sense of what you need to do. You're cranky. You're not motivated. When you have enough sleep, you wake up, you feel agile, you feel like you can take on the world. And that's what happens when you have enough sleep. The second thing to do is to eat healthy meals. Please don't always be eating carbohydrates. Make sure you're stuffing yourself with enough balanced diet. Get your fruits, get your supplements. I know a lot of people don't take supplements, but I'm advocating for supplements. Take your vitamins, your minerals. It helps keep you agile, you stay motivated, and you're on course. Another thing you need to do to practice self-care is to exercise regularly. Many people do not do that. And it's fine if you don't have the money to sign up for a gym class or a gym fitness or have a fitness coach, but you can start by taking a brisk walk. You can walk for 30 minutes, for an hour. When you're walking, you're active. And once blood pumps through your body, life comes out. You're thinking, your brain is telling you what to do. Your mind is focused. It gives you possibility. You're seeing what you probably will not see if you're just lying fallow doing nothing. But when you're exercising regularly, you're doing things, you're seeing things in such a new perspective. Well, because you're exercising regularly, your body's getting all the nutrients it needs. You're getting things that are fun to you. It helps do something to you and you become motivated to even pursue your tasks and you go. The sixth tip I'm going to give you is that you should engage the power of collaboration. Someone once said, if you want to go far, you go with a lot of people. When you collaborate with people, it lightens your tasks. Employ collaboration. Do not be afraid to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. In fact, it gives you new perspective. People whose mentorship and guidance can help you in the path of the goal you're setting can prepare you into success, and your focus, you're seeing new perspective, and you're employing that. It helps you in your goal alignment. It helps you to focus properly, and you can achieve the task just ahead of you. The seventh and the final strategy is to embrace developmental growth. When it comes to finishing what you start, you need to be able to embrace the development mindset such that you're gonna put in front of you your present and past tasks. Look at what you've done so far. Look at where you need to improve. Look at what's working for you, what's not working. Look at how that you can improvise, you can chip in things, you can change your strategy. This will help you even focus on your goals. It helps you stay motivated such that you know that you're doing something right, or wherever you're doing things wrong, you can always retrace your steps and employ new tools, get fresh perspectives, see that what you're doing now is helping you become and pushing you towards the goal you have in front of you. It is never enough to start. Make sure the steps that I have outlined are tools you're employing to help you finish the task you have in front of you, because the applaud never goes to who starts anything, but the one who waits out, who makes the best of the opportunity they have and come out with great results. I hope this has helped you. If you have any challenge or you have a strategy you've employed that's not really working for you and you'd like help on that, kindly put in the section below. I remain Jumoke Seyi-Aliu. I'll keep bringing you valuable content, giving strategies that help you become successful. See you in the next video.